All right, welcome to the IU Hoops halftime report. As your Indiana Hoosiers currently down 33 to 18 at halftime to Michigan. Hoosiers fall down 17 points before they even score a point, down 15. So they made up ground, won the last two segments, 5-4, 6-5. At this point, we'll need to play 15 more of these segments to come back into the game. Look, I think at this point, the anger that we saw from Archie Miller there at the referees at the end of that first half, I think at some point it's time for that to be directed at players who just seem unwilling to start the game with the kind of desperation that they need. I just don't understand it. Everything really added up to Indiana coming out and playing hard and playing with desperation in this game. And that was about as lax and unfocused as could be imagined. Offensively, we were trying to do some different things offensively. There were a couple of times we tried to, run Romeo off some screens, get him posting down on the block, and we just couldn't even get the ball to him because we weren't strong enough with the ball. We weren't willing to take our space and face up to the Michigan pressure, and they just pushed us out of whatever whenever they wanted to, and we'd make bad passes and knock it into our stuff. Meanwhile, they came right out and carved up our defense early on. Granted, the defense came around a little bit. What did Michigan end the half with? Michigan ended the half at 0.97 points per possession. If you had told me that, I would have thought, hey, we're going to be in good shape. We're scoring 0.563 points per possession. And I will say, I think that defensive number is a little bit misleading because they missed a lot of good looks early. It could have been worse. So, look, I don't know what to say about the way that Indiana started the game because it's inexplicable to me. I think this was probably a great case for Al Durham should have started the game. I'm not saying it would have changed anything, but who was the one guy in the first 10 minutes of the game that really tried to be assertive and really tried to go, attack? It was Al. And he was kind of trying to will his team, trying to show a little bit of emotion. So maybe having him out there a little bit would have helped. I don't know. But Archie clearly, made a little bit of an adjustment once Romeo got in foul trouble. He was clearly committed to putting floor spacers out there and let's just see. Let's put Demezy out there. Let's put Fitzner out there. Pair him with Rob and Al. Let's get four guys who can make threes and let's see what we can do. So that was a change. At least we're trying some different things offensively. We just can't do anything. I suppose we can try all the new stuff that we want, but if we can't execute it, it doesn't really matter. And clearly these guys are, going to practice and working on things. They're not able to take it into the games. And I do think part of it is this team just is broken in terms of confidence and in terms of chemistry. And maybe playing at home is the worst thing possible right now because they're feeding off the pensive energy of the fans who want to believe and want to get into this. But you see that to start the game, just like the Nebraska game, and it's like, come on. So, I would have loved, I haven't been a proponent of this so far, but, at the end of the day, patience without a breaking point is just acquiescence. And so if we're just going to let guys go out there and go through the motions, which is kind of what it looks, and even if they're trying, but they're overthinking it, so it, they're not able to go as fast, which could be part of this. I don't think that these guys just totally don't care. But I do think there's a certain level of toughness and just grit that they don't have. You combine that with trying to think through the offense, you're probably going to get movements that don't look passionate and energetic, which is kind of what we got. But I think at some point, if it's, 9-0, call a timeout, lay into the guys. 9-0, wholesale substitutions. You only have to do it for a minute. You don't have to do it for the whole rest of the half. Just put Clifton, Demezy, Jake, Johnny Jager, VJ Blackman, everybody in. Try something. So, again, I don't know. I'm not the coach, and, I don't like second-guessing coaching moves, but, at the end of the day, different tact. Now, defensively, we didn't really try much different. We were pretty much defending the ball screens a lot like we did. A little bit more, a few more emergency switches than we had seen, I think that first time against Michigan, but they were pretty much carving up the defense. But, I don't know. I don't have any answers right now. And, this game was kind of my last one where it's like, okay, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and believe before seeing, right? I'm going to have faith that all these things that add up to this being a game of desperation, they'll play like it. And it didn't happen. And we're probably going to end up coming back and lose by 6, and it's going to be even more infuriating because of how we started off the game. But I think I'm at the point now, like I can't, you guys know me. I'm never giving up on the team. I will be here. I will be, cheering all the time. But I am no longer going to give them the benefit of the doubt on, okay, they're going to come ready for this one. I wasted a lot of breath over the last 2 days talking about how we'll play with desperation and we'll do this and we'll do that. But the common narratives that you would apply to most teams in most regular situations just don't seem to apply right now to this team. And yes, I think it's coaching, but it's certainly not all coaching. I mean, at some point, did you see Xavier Simpson calling out signals, calling out instructions to guys, communicating? When was the last IU guy who did that? Clearly there is an issue of leadership and an issue of chemistry and communication with this team. I have no idea if they like each other off the court. Who knows? I just know on the court, they don't seem to play with a lot of joy together. And they don't seem to play with a lot of communication and a lot of togetherness for whatever that is. So, I think and at the same time, the coaching has to hold the players accountable. So I think this is an absolute full systems failure. If you only blame one side of it, I think you're totally doing it wrong. When you come out and consistently do the same things over and over again, just like we saw in the last year with Crean, that's on everybody. Absolutely everybody. So, we'll see how they come out in the second half. If they can somehow dig their way out of this and win this game, hey, we will all jump for joy. It's not going to change what we saw over the first 8 minutes, and that is a concern. It's a major, major, major concern. So we'll see. Would love to see the team come out and play with fire and do some positive things here in the second half. But, you can guess what we'll be talking about on the postgame show. That was extremely disappointing. So I apologize if this was more emotion than analysis, but, I don't know. I don't want to really – what other stats do you want? I would feel a little bit better about this if Michigan was lights out from 3. They're 4 of 16. They're just getting good looks at 2, and we're not making anything. Got to find some confidence. Got to find some cohesion. Someone's got to rally this group together. They got to figure out that they want to be better than what they are being. This is not X's and O's. This is men rallying together and saying, I'm done with the BS and getting better. That's it. Hey, my dear. My daughter's here. Hi. Banner moment of the halftime show. Okay, now I feel better. All right, everybody. Oh, you're not actually doing it? No, we're doing it. This is live. It's going to everybody. But there's no more analysis. They're playing terrible. So there's really nothing else to say. All right, everybody. See, that is, you know what? That's the joy of having kids. They can come in and they can perk your spirits up when the team's not playing well. All right, we'll talk to you on the postgame show. It'll be me and Andy. So we'll be sure to pick up whatever Ryan would have said for his rant. All right, go Hoosiers. Let's find a way. I'm not out on this at all. But let's do this. None of us can take this anymore. So let's be better in the second half, Hoosiers. Talk to you guys in the postgame show.